So, 80s fans, you think you've seen it all?
I don't get no respect at all.
Okay, rapping Rodney, get a load of this.
Wolverines!
It's I Love the 80s 3D. And this is 1984.
Come 84, it all changed.
The flicks.
God damn it, what a ride, huh?
The fashions.
If you didn't have this here, you just weren't popular.
The trends.
God, what time is it, boob? That'd be so awesome.
The tunes. Death-defying 3D.
Can't handle all this 3D behind me.
A totally awesome year that gave us these burning questions. Why the hell don't they know it's Christmas?
Because they're just too busy being hungry.
How does Dr. Ruth know so much about your Johnson?
Dr. Ruth was the perfect height for actually interviewing a penis.
Hello, penis.
Which is how she learned so much.
And is corn the most evil vegetable?
The corn kids kill people.
The answers to those questions plus classical gas with Mozart.
Brilliant.
And the hair product that sounded like it was good to eat.
Like you did the mousse in your hand, you just felt like going, no. Even though you knew it would taste terrible.
Because you love the 80s. Because you're still lost without your calculator watch. Admit it.
This is awesome.
This is 1984 in 3D.
Whoa.
Headed straight for your puss.
I love the 80s.
3D.
Wolverines! Wolverines! Wolverines!
Red Dawn is about the Russians and Cubans invading the heartland of America.
The Russians?
And Cubans.
Cubans.
Apparently, corn supply in the USSR had dropped to a dangerously low level, so they needed to invade Iowa.
Let's go.
They somehow managed to scrounge up rocket launchers and wreak havoc on the entire Russian army.
They used sticks, they used trees, they got a hold of some guns. They were kicking Soviet ass.
Not bad for a bunch of kids, huh?
It was crazy with the tanks and the napalm attacks.
What classes are taught at that high school that suddenly they know how to operate artillery and know how to drop bombs?
We all had AK-47s with, blanks in them, I think.
Wrong, commie.
These teenagers really love America and really hate commies. They really hate commies.
Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, myself, Jennifer Grey, we tore that town apart.
Jennifer Grey and Leah Thompson were so hot in that movie because at first they're like, ew, I'm a girl. And then,
Now I had the time of my life.
The most important thing that happened in Red Dawn was that Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey got together and they found out what incredible chemistry they had.
Swayze and Grey were like, you know what, this is really awesome, but this movie just didn't have enough gay dancing in it.
And then they went on to star in Dirty Dancing.
Wolverines!
Bogus.
People are very interested in sexuality, and that's as it ought to be.
Dr. Ruth is this small lady with a heavy accent that talked the most openly about sex that me at 12 years old had ever heard.
First find out if that touching does something to you.
I'm so excited!
I'm an old woman with an odd voice shaped like a fire hydrant. Listen to my sex advice.
The same position every single time is going to become boring.
Dr. Ruth was this big, and she sat on your shoulder.
Hello?
And she told you about sex.
Good sex.
Dr. Ruth was the perfect height for actually interviewing a penis.
Hello, penis.
Which is how she learned so much.
Can I say for the record that I would love to bang Dr. Ruth?
I wonder if I would slept with Dr. Ruth.
I don't know, I bet you should be a freak, though.
I think I would have just because she thought she knew about sex.
Give him an orgasm whenever he feels like it.
Dr. Ruth
made it okay to say the word penis.
The woman feels the pressure of the penis inside the vagina.
You need to insert the penis.
But you can do it at the speed that you want to.
And people are like,
enjoying your erection. I was like 13 going, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Masturbate 4 hours each day.
You hear that, erection? Grandma says you're okay.
Nothing shocked her. You could be like, I have gonorrhea, I've been date raped 4 times. Good for you! What are you calling from, sweetheart?
I think Dr. Ruth's greatest sex tip was, if you want to prolong your sexual experience, think about me.
Hold it. Wait.
You'll last forever.
Enjoy it. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bangkok, Oriental City, if the city don't...
One Night in Bangkok by Murray Head. Once again, one of the greatest rock and roll names of all time. Diamond David Lee Roth, The Star Child, Paul Stanley, Sting, Bono, Murray Head.
why only one night in Bangkok? Like, you wouldn't even get over your jet lag. That can't be any fun. It's like one night in Bangkok, I slept all night.
I don't know where Murray was from, but it was like kind of this Europop German rap.
You've seen one crowded, polluted, thinking town.
One Night in Bangkok is the only rock hit ever to come out of a musical. It was a musical called Chess. It's a song about chess, and yet we were all listening to it like that was cool.
I've spent a few nights in Bangkok, and chess was not on the agenda. I'll just say that right now.
Did they cut part out of the video where a woman shoots a ping pong ball out of her hooey?
I get my kids above the waistline, sunshine.
MTV aired that for like a day, and then they got letters.
Yeah.
I don't want to see ping pong balls coming out of hooeys.
But chess, yeah.
Yeah, go. You can. That's fine.
Britain's top rock stars got together to cut an album called Band-Aid, which became the fastest-selling record ever.
Ah, what a great song.
It's Christmas time. Bob Geldolf was this amazing guy. He was one of the original founders of a band called the Boomtown Rats. He also put this band together called Band-Aid for African relief efforts.
If one record raises $10 million for Ethiopia, it's only a Band-Aid. You know, it's like a deep hemorrhage which needs 20 stitches, and you put a Band-Aid on it.
It was a nice thing that we did. They did. The Brits did. We didn't do anything. We did We Are the World. We had Dan Aykroyd singing.
We cared about Africa way before you did. Yeah, you were busy shoving your faces, but what?
It was such a powerful video. You can see all these like legendary musicians like Bananarama and Duran Duran.
If you look at the women in particular, and not to be catty, not a good-looking one among the bunch. Honestly, Boy George was the best-looking woman on that album.
Everyone remembers Bono's line.
That's a sweet Christmassy sentiment if I've ever heard one.
I literally would cry every time that line came on.
I remember my drunk uncles used to say that. Thank God you're getting that sweater, not me.
Underneath it all, Do They Know It's Christmas was really about converting Africans to Christianity, no matter what it took. If they don't know it's Christmas now, they damn well better pretty soon, or they ain't getting any of our food.
I remember being like, wow, maybe they don't know it's Christmas because they're just too busy being hungry.
I love 84. Coming up, the children of the corn take misbehaving to a whole new level.
It scared the crap out of me. It scared the corn out of me, if you will.
Plus, New Edition's prepubescent pop gold.
They were like babies, and they're singing about girls. It's like, y'all don't like girls at that age.
Plus, mousse, hair product or tasty snack.
Like you did the mousse in your hand, you just felt like going, even though you knew it would taste terrible.
Next on I Love the 80s 3D, 1984. But first, movies that should have been made in 3D.
Hey, 3D fans! Weird Al Yankovic here, practically jumping out of the TV and into your living room with the movies that should have been made in 3D for 1984. Flash. I usually go for legs on a woman, but with a set of 3D fins like that, who can complain? Breaking. Seeing Turbo and Ozone doing 6 steps, turtles, hand glides, head spins, tic-tacs, and windmills in 3D, man, that would just be so fly. And of course, Purple Rain. Just imagine tiny little Prince coming at you in 3D. Ooh, scary. And there you have it, the movies that should have been made in 3D for 1984. Because 2 dimensions just aren't enough.
Paula Abdul here, bringing you the teen idols whose stickers covered your Trapper Keeper back in 1984. Menudo, muy caliente. Wham! They jitterbugged into my heart. And Corey Hart, give me my shades, that man is hot. Those were the teen idols of 1984. Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? You really want to love them forever.
I love the children of the corn.
It scared the crap out of me. It scared the corn out of me, if you will.
Outlander! Children of the Corn is a movie about a young couple trying to escape from a town where all the local children have ruthlessly murdered all the adults. It's not as funny as it sounds.
They've sacrificed them to a demon that lives in the corn.
I love it. I love anything where kids go nuts.
There's a boy preacher named Isaac.
Question me not, Malachi.
That guy's frightening. He's like hard to look at.
Whoever casted him was like, you know what? I don't even think we need makeup. What are you talking about? Should we use makeup? Make me scary? Put some horns? No, you're fine.
I act according to his will.
My favorite was the evil redhead Malachi.
Bring him the blood of the Outlander!
Malachi was Carrot Top's doppelganger.
Hi there.
Every family's got one redhead, and it's always just a big joke, like, well, Jimmy will end up in jail just because he has red hair.
Nothing worse than a redhead. Look at Danny Bonaducci. Are you telling me he's never had a murderous thought before?
The best part of that movie is when they sacrificed him on a corn cross.
Scarecrow crucifix thing and...
The effects at the end took me out of the film just a little bit.
And then he came back from Malachi.
He wants you too, Malachi.
And then I saw it later in life, as like a 22-year-old. It's not scary at all.
That movie still rocks. I never want to drive cross country again. If I saw corn, I was like, speed up, go. The corn kids kill people.
Oh my God.
New Edition, my favorite group of all time.
Ronnie, Ralphie, Ricky, and Mike, and Bobby.
I remember New Edition. Run DMC used to open up for New Edition.
They were the Jackson 5 of the 80s. Nobody had come along since the Jackson 5s. I think Candy Girl was almost like ABC, Candy Girl. Ooh, Candy Girl. And I want to do that. It was like the same exact song, you know, different lyrics.
That's very Michael Jackson. He sounded like Michael Jackson on that one. I thought that was a little Mike. I'd say Michael's a little too old for that, isn't it?
I love those guys. I mean, come on, they're like legendary. And they were fun to dance to.
Oh, they're great. Newest thing around. The New Edition.
They were like babies, and they're singing about girls. It's like, y'all don't like girls at that age.
Them boys were going through some heartaches. I mean, they were popular, but they really didn't have great love lives, obviously. All their songs were talking about they were being rejected.
Mr. Telephone Man.
There's something wrong with my life. When I call my baby's number, click it a click every time. That's because she didn't want to talk to you. That was the problem, okay? They were going
going through that phase of you don't know if they were going to be handsome or cute. So they kept the camera far away.
They were very light and very, like, unoffensive. And then Bobby Brown turns into this, like, wife-beating crack monster later on. It's amazing.
Well, you know what? Back in the day, you always knew he was the bad boy. You know, his energy, you could tell he could get into things.
They were the greatest boy band at the time. Everybody loved New Edition. They're gonna make a comeback, and when they come back, you guys are gonna really respect them.
You know what mousse can do for your hair.
Oh, wow. And how?
Mousse and bangs. No, it was not a cop show. It was a horrible hair choice.
I'm pretty sure that it was invented somewhere in New Jersey.
And people are like, check this out. Put this in your hair, and it'll totally look like garbage in 15 minutes.
New mousse adds whole shine. Body that just won't quit.
Well, I remember when mousse first came out, I thought it was like a dessert.
And just you wanted to bite it, too. You remember, like you did the mousse in your hand, you just felt like going, hop up. No. Even though you knew it would taste terrible.
Solid as a rock. The harder and stiffer your hair was, the hotter you were.
There are people they buy mousse by the truckloads. It's crazy.
And my God, it's growing! You could never judge the proper amount of mousse because it expanded. You see, it just keeps expanding.
You were just supposed to use it with discretion. But a lot of us in the 80s had no discretion because we were on drugs.
Everybody needed to have these curled, like, claw hammer bangs that were like that. They were, like, hard, man. You had to take the hair roller and it was like a shield for your forehead.
Mousse and bangs and the blow dryer. Oh, this definitely was the prep for the mall.
And you put the mousse in, and then you hold it.
Or I would do the curling iron in one thing to the side to try to make it flip up. And that motion of whoosh.
People would only worry about what's in front. No one would worry about the back.
It was like ratty and like, bedhead.
It was awful. It was actually disgusting. I still use mousse. That's the key to good hair. I don't do all the bang part, but I still use mousse.
I love 84. Coming up, Mozart's gassy greatness.
It's like, brilliant.
Plus, the football magic of Teensy Doug Flutie.
He just winged the pig better than anyone I ever saw.
Next on I Love the 80s 3D, 1984. But first,
Chuck Woolery here with the best on-screen hookup of 1984. Long Duck Dong and Lumberjack in 16 Candles. He's a foreign exchange student from out of town looking to cut loose. She's a large, hulking high school student looking for a man. Sparks flew instantly between these two as the donger made a love connection after being in town for less than 5 hours. Though the audience felt strongly that Farmer Ted was the man for Lumberjack, she went out on her own, and I think she made the right choice with the donger. And there you have it. Long Duck Dong and Lumberjack. I've said it again. The best on-screen hookup of 1984. We'll see you in 202.
I love the 3D.
Hello, darling. Elvira here with the biggest boobs of 1984. No, I am not talking about these boobs. I'm talking about Walter Mondale. The presidential hopeful thought that using the Wendy's slogan, "Where's the beef?" would help him defeat Ronald Reagan. Unfortunately, the slogan failed biggie time and Reagan came out on top. Sorry, Walt. There's only one place the beef's gonna help you, buddy, and that ain't at the polls. Ow! Here's to you, Walter Mondale, the biggest boob of 1984. And I'm an expert.
I love the 3D.
Amadeus, the movie?
Mozart.
Oh, yeah.
Amadeus won 8 Oscars, including Best Picture.
It's got classical music, a lot of people in powdered wigs.
This movie was designed by scientists to win Oscars.
Tom Hulce plays Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, one of the greatest composers of all time, one of the greatest idiots of all time.
I think he was in one other film.
It put Tom Hulce right on the launching pad to stardom.
And then there was some sort of problem there with mission control.
The best part is when he's sitting at the harpsichord and he farts to accent a song point. It's amazing. It's like, brilliant.
F. Murray Abraham was so great as Salieri.
He won an Oscar for that.
Grazie, signore.
He had that sort of Edward James Olmos thing. And by that I mean cystic acne, but that's fine.
Salieri, who was a rival to Amadeus Mozart's at the time and felt like, you know, Amadeus got all the accolades.
Salieri is essentially just a big jealous.
Big Oscar-winning.
F. Murray Abraham has more credits as an actor. He was in Scarface, Amadeus, you name it. He was the leaf in the Fruit of the Loom commercial.
And you can see a lot of that in his character in Amadeus.
Why am I but a leaf?
Such beautiful, beautiful music the grapes made.
Such quality cotton briefs.
Amadeus accomplished a lot. It brought classical music into the living rooms of people that normally probably didn't listen to it as much. And most importantly, Falco wrote Rock Me Amadeus, which didn't just rock Amadeus, it rocked Greg Fitzsimmons too.
Whatever happened to Rock Me Salieri?
Cool beans.
Sports Illustrated calls him Magic Flutie. He is Doug Flutie, the tiny quarterback at Boston College, the most exciting college football player since O.J. Simpson.
The only thing Boston College had going for him that year was little Doug Flutie.
Here's a guy who's like really short, shouldn't be playing football. They say he doesn't have that strong of an arm.
He was like 5'4", and he just winged the pig better than anyone I ever saw.
Here he was, going toe-to-toe with the defending national champions.
Live from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, it's the Eagles of Boston College versus the Miami Hurricanes.
Boston College has no chance to win. They stay close.
Doug Flutie drops back.
You got big guys chase him.
You know, the Miami kids, they're all 7 foot plus.
He's dodging him, he's dodging.
Doug cocked that arm back.
You see little number 22 just throw that ball as far as he can.
Throws it down. Caught by Boston College.
Oh my God, they've won the game! Doug Flutie has won the game!
Unbelievable! I don't believe it! Doug Flutie has done it.
Boston College wins! When did the Hail Mary ever really work?
Oh, Flutie was a god. They renamed God Flutie in Boston.
Oh, it must have been crazy. It must have been like similar to when we beat the Yankees.
One of the 10 greatest moments in sports history. Easily. Top 12. Easily one of the top 15 moments in sports history. If you don't rank it in the top 30, you're crazy.
I tell you I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape. I don't get a break with nothing.
Rapping Rodney was big.
I was an ugly kid. I never had fun.
It wasn't like he was Rodney trying to be a rapper. He was just Rodney rapping.
They took me to a dog show and I won.
I loved rapping Rodney.
No respect. When I was born, I brought no joy.
Of course, I was a child at the time.
My old man said he wanted a boy.
No respect. No respect.
Rappin' Rodney was just a bunch of his jokes all strung together, vaguely rhyming.
I'm getting old. It's hard to face.
He's just trying to stay current. You know what I mean?
But during sex, I lose my place.
If rap is what the kids are into, then Rodney's into rap.
Because kids can't pay attention to anything where you're just talking.
What's the matter, Rodney?
It ain't easy being me.
Video for Rappin' Rodney's great. He's got like his chorus girls going, no respect, no respect. And then they come in with the amazing, amazing hook to the song, Rappin' Rodney.
Rappin' Rodney.
Old Rappin' Rodney. Can't get a break.
Rodney's like the greatest comic ever. And the looks don't hurt. When you're that ugly, people are gonna laugh with you.
I don't get no
If you were goofy and nerdy in the 70s, you had a pen protector. If you were goofy and nerdy in the 80s, you had a watch with a calculator in it.
The sure way not to get laid in high school was to wear a calculator watch. Who needs this?
Beep, 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 boop, bop, bop, beep, boop, bop, bop. That's the sound that all early technology makes. Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep, boop, bop, bop.
Casio always had like a watch that did something else, like the Pocket Fisherman.
You felt a little like Batman when you had one? You know, I can figure that out. What is that? Kilograms to pounds. Robin, shoot out that wire.
I just solved Fermat's last theorem.
No.
On my wristwatch.
This was every teacher's nightmare because it was instant cheating on your math test.
So in math, you're just kind of like...
I used to rent them out to my friends. Somebody had a test, $2.
You could never cheat on a test with one of these because they kept beeping. You couldn't turn it off. Like, what are you doing back there? Oh, nothing. I have a bird in my jacket. I'm just feeding it scraps from lunch.
Calculator watches are great because you could spell out all kinds of things. Or shell oil.
And when Mom wasn't around, you can make it spell boobs.
How come when Mom wasn't around?
My mom was not into the boobs.
You'd be like in school and be like, oh, what time is it, boob? That'd be so awesome.
Or my personal favorite, boobless.
I've never really seen too many people wear them. I mean, they got them as gifts, but it didn't last very long. It came in and went out just as fast as it came in.
I love 84. Coming up, the movie that was guilty of wackiness in the first degree.
It was like Revenge of the Nerds with uniforms, I guess.
And Dick Clark, Ed McMahon, and one easy prank victim.
I don't even think Ashton Kutcher would play tricks on Stevie Wonder. I mean, that's just cruel.
Next on I Love the 80s 3D, 1984. But first...
Hi, I'm Alan Thicke, the Love Doctor, here with your prescription for the hot moms of 1984. Felicia Rashad, she's the reason Cosby always had that big smile on his face. Jane Curtin and Susan St. James from Kate and Alley. Imagine that menage a mama. Karen Kay from It's Your Move, so come on, Karen, take your best shot. Those are the hot moms of 1984, and I'd make room for them on my couch anytime.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel Lewis, here to school you on the pop culture term of 1984, boy toy. This term is a slang phrase often used by a woman or a girl to describe her desire to be the plaything of a young man or boy. For example, that track Christina is such a boy toy, made popular by Madonna, who wore it on her belt. The meaning now also refers to a young man who is the toy of a much older woman. That was the pop culture term of 1984. Peace.
Romancing the Stone was basically Raiders of the Lost Ark light.
Romancing the Stone was somebody sitting around going, how do we take Indiana Jones and make it a romantic comedy? I would love that.
It was romantic, and Michael Douglas is this rugged guy out in the jungle.
Was it Michael Douglas or Harrison Ford?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Joan Wilder, welcome to Columbia.
Meow. Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner was so sexy.
Oh, did I have a crush on Michael Douglas, but Kathleen Turner looked good too in that movie.
If you had any kind of manners, if you... They are searching for this crazy, gigantic, huge stone.
I'm stealing this stone. I'm not trying to romance it out from under her.
And there's a lot of twists and turns with a very small little Danny DeVito running around.
Who doesn't love Danny DeVito?
Everyone loves Danny DeVito.
My favorite scene is when they fell down that mudslide.
They just slip in there. Get all dirty.
Kathleen Turner goes down first, and then Michael Douglas goes down.
And he lands right in her kiddish.
That's when my parents turned it off.
I'm Kathleen Turner's legs, and I'm Michael Douglas.
Oh, God damn it, what a ride, huh?
I'm renting it next Thursday.
I didn't really care about the plot that much. I cared about the action.
Thank you.
It was danger, but not real danger. You know what I mean? There was like danger of alligators and things like that, but mostly it was just really fun.
I couldn't stop thinking about you. I even read one of your books.
Then you know how they all end. He shows up at the end in a gigantic boat in New York City. What? You're amazing. Take me away on your boat.
I love 84.
Designer shoelaces were amazing. Shoelaces were a blank canvas screaming out for art.
And they were just like shoelaces, but they were designer. So
That's how that worked. Not everybody understood it, but it's kind of technical.
You'd buy a pair of shoes and you'd have to buy the designer shoelaces to go with it.
If you didn't have this here, oh man, ooh. You just weren't popular.
I remember every kid in school had to have something on their shoelaces. But this was a girl thing, wasn't it?
Designer shoelaces were not just for girls. I had them. And I'm sure some other guys had them.
I had my name on some. I had like I love and then a roller skate.
A whole day you would walk around school just putting your foot out like, yeah, check this out.
If you actually needed to tighten them up to do anything, you'd end up with this much shoelace in the shoe and this stuff all over your foot. So it's basically an attempt to kill children.
You got some money if you had these. You had some class. You had style.
I had, like, shirts that match this. That's wrong. You gotta love the fluorescent. And that's what the 80s were about.
I love 84. We're the Snorks.
Snorks were this Saturday morning cartoon that all the kids watched.
This ought to be good.
Oh, Snorks were amazing.
And these little characters lived under the water, under the ocean.
There were so many great characters. There was All-Star, there was Casey, there was a Dimmy.
They were only called the Snorks because turnip heads didn't really sell well.
Contrary to popular belief, this is not a sexual organ.
That's good.
They weren't terribly smart because even though they had snorkels, they kept them fully submerged. So they ran a high risk of drowning.
That's bad.
You can't breathe now, can you? Close this guy off and you got nothing.
Oh, my starfish!
They should have called them the bong heads and just gotten it over with. I mean, for real, this is what it looks like. It's just like...
Dude, I smoked a snork. I'm so wasted, I can't believe it.
Holy jumping catfish!
Snork is a desperate attempt to rip off the Smurfs.
My word!
I remember watching them after the Smurfs and thinking that they had something to do with the Smurfs, but I didn't know what.
I don't think they're related. I think they're just kind of a ripoff.
They never really caught on quite as well as Smurfs, which is why we're waiting until the 3rd edition of I Love the 80s to talk about them.
Well, I'll be a sea monkey's uncle.
The one thing that the Snorks had on the Smurfs was that they had more than one girl. So it wasn't that creepy Smurf gangbang thing going on with them.
I love 84.
In 83, you know, it was okay to have a floor-length chinchilla, and that was just the men. You should see what the women were wearing. Come 84, it all changed.
They were animal rights activists, and they marched down Fifth Avenue lightly clad, protesting the fashion of fur.
People for the ethical treatment of animals named Peta said, you know what, you guys are wrong. You shouldn't be wearing fur coats.
PETA decided that they were going to kick the whole anti-fur thing up a notch and start throwing red paint on people.
People would pop out of nowhere and throw red paint on their fur coats. How fun is that, throwing paint at old rich ladies?
I always thought they should have thrown skinned weasels on them or skinned minks, you know. Like, you could have the coat, but here, take the rest of the animal as well.
Our aim is to make every man or woman who wears a fur coat in public embarrassed for having done so.
Come on, Peta. Throw paint on this. Come on.
Is this,
what?
Genuine chinchilla?
Natural. All natural.
It's fashion. And I'm allowed to look really, really hot.
I have sympathy for the animals, but I also want to look my best.
Whenever I see a chimpanzee wearing people clothes, I throw paint on him because it's wrong.
But it's so cute.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's wrong, wrong, wrong. Bobo, you.
My mom grew up poor in the Bronx. My dad saved up, bought her a fur coat. And if she saw anybody with a spray can, she would say, you touch this coat, I'll rip your balls off.
It ain't much.
TV bloopers and practical jokes with Ed McMahon and Dick Bark. TV bloopers and practical jokes with Ed McMahon. TV bloopers and practical jokes with Ed McMahon and Dick Clark was really frummy.
Welcome to TV's bloopers and practical jokes.
The hosts were people who, relatively unfamiliar to television viewers. Dick Clark and Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon and Dick Clark would just laugh their asses off at other people's misery. And did you see that stupid ass? High five, Dick and Ed. Yeah, woo!
The premise was practical jokes for famous people. This was Ed McMahon's Punk'd.
The actors never reacted in that much of a shocked manner because Dick Clark was friends with these guys.
You're on TV's bloopers and practical jokes.
Y'all ready to get funky?
Remember Lindsay Wagner? She got stuck in a bear trap.
They also did that episode where they killed Linda Carter's sister.
I love that they did a practical joke on Stevie Wonder, and it was a hidden camera, so he wouldn't see that the joke was being played on him.
You are on TV, bloopers, and practical jokes.
Did they then point out the cameras to Stevie Wonder? Stevie, if I just pivot you over here, cameraman, if you can cough, that's where the hidden camera was.
I don't even think Ashton Kutcher would play tricks on Stevie Wonder. I mean, that's just cruel.
Ashton Kutcher's going nowhere where Ed McMahon hasn't been before, and I'm including Demi Moore in that statement.
I love 84. Coming up, the biggest bunch of Nimrod cops you ever did see. Police Academy next on I Love the 80s 3D 1984. But first, craving some 3D bonus material and 80s ringtones? I wanna rock! Then log on to VH1.com. Make sure to check out V-Spot. Guilty, not guilty of 1984.
The less than honorable Harry Anderson presiding. Defendant, the FCC. Charge, assault with intent to bore. This was the year that the FCC lifted the restriction on how much TV time could be devoted to commercials. The result, the hellish dawn of infomercial stars like Ron Popeil, Tony Robbins, and Dionne Warwick's psychic friends. Verdict, guilty. Sentence, execution by a simple clap of the hands. Clap on, clap off. The court of 1984 is now in recess.
I love the 3D.
Officer, can you get my kitty cat out of the tree?
No problem, ma'am.
Oh, no! Wait!
Police Academy was so awful that I'm surprised I didn't star in it.
It was like Revenge of the Nerds with uniforms.
The plot was they didn't have enough people in the police force, and they finally figured out they'll just open it up to anybody.
Police Academy was a horrendous cast starring Steve Guttenberg.
Howdy!
Steve Guttenberg, Mahoney, everyone's favorite cop. Mahoney wasn't just serving and protecting, he was sticking it to the man.
He was also sticking it to Kim Cattrall.
Steve Guttenberg was one of these cute, but he's not too cute. He's funny. He's certainly not too funny.
Thank you, sir. I make everybody sick.
There's the little black girl who would talk like this.
I'm sorry, I really am.
And whenever she get pissed off, would have this like voice that would just knock people over.
Freeze, dirtbag! We had the sexy ass white woman with the short hair. The big tall chick that had a big ass gun. Ooh. I waxed that ass like rain dance. Ooh, my goodness. We had the father from Punky Brewster as the commandant.
Maybe the world is blind.
Oh, Punky Brewster turned out to be a hottie, didn't she? Oh, I think she had like a triple E or something, but her back started hurting, so she got like a breast job.
What was the crazy artillery guy's name?
I don't know what his name was.
He used to love like shooting things.
I don't remember character names.
Tackleberry. Tackleberry was a bad, bad dude.
If I remember character names from Police Academy, I got problems. That means I got way too much time on my hands. Introduce yourself around, man.
The only thing I remember was the one black dude who could make all the sounds, you know?
Nobody makes mouth noises like Michael Winslow.
Amazing! What else can you do? Helicopter! bumblebee? Somebody's eating a cheese sandwich.
That's terrific.
Classic comedy.
I love 84. In this fast-paced, high-pressure, get-it-done-yesterday show, there's only one man who can keep up with it all.
John Machida here, America's favorite fast talker, with the year in review for 1984, just in case you missed anything. There was sex with Dr. Ruth Westheimer. She's German short, and everybody was taking her advice. The Russians invaded, okay, only in Red Dawn, and a bunch of high school students saved the day. Girls wore mousse and stacked their bangs 9 feet high, making every day a bad hair day. Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner fought like dogs, while Cadet Carrie Mahoney taught us all about life in the police academy, while Children of the Corn scared the crap out of us. Rapping Rodney showed us that he could groove. Bloopers abounded thanks to Dick Clark and Ed McMahon, who brought us the hilarious hijinks right into our homes. And that is 1984 in a nutshell. Any questions?
I love 84.
Welcome to I Love the 80s 3D, powered by 80s 3D Vision. 80s 3D Vision delivers humorous nostalgia about your favorite 80s entertainers, fads, and important memories, all in 3 dimensions.
You mean 3D?
Mr. 3D, what are you doing here?
I love 3D.
Mr. 3D, stop! You're damaging the fabric of the space-time continuum. Wow!
It's I Love the 80s 3D. Coming up next.